thanks for stopping by. I'd like to preface this video by saying it is not a knitting tutorial, but it means to have something playing in the background while you work on your own project. If you're like me and really enjoy having something on while you work, sometimes you find that the content you like is very visually engaging and you're several hours in and haven't gotten nearly as far along in your project as you would have liked to. So that's where I come in. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. We are continuing with the cat mat, and I will like to announce that it is very hot today. I am once again glistening, literally glistening a lot. I have my window open, I have my little fan next to me. I have this on only to save you from watching the pool of sweat collect under my armpit, because there is already one there. And yes, I have deodorant on, and it's not doing much for me. Actually, it's an antiperspirant, and it's like not doing anything for me. So, yeah, it's Saturday afternoon. Here it is, the first full week of summer in effect. Last Saturday was the first day of summer, and here we are, another Saturday today. I'd like to mention before we begin that in the description box you will see a couple links. Well, you'll see several links, but two in particular are to Niche Design. It's a site, or it's a page on Ravelry, and she is contributing to the Black Lives Matter movement by donating all of the sales from any purchases made on her Ravelry site through the month of June to Black Lives Matter organizations, charities. So if you're interested in supporting the cause, please do check out her Ravelry page, and you might see a pattern or two or three or four, however many that might interest you. And I want to particularly highlight the pattern that you'll see down there called Knit the Family, because that is going to be our August knit along. So props to Ginny once again for including me in a tag of this wonderful project, and we are going to delve into that, well, 2 months from now? Well, not even that, because if you think about it, the day you see this video, here's hoping you see this on Monday. Tuesday will be the last day of the month, so then Wednesday rolls around. So you only have essentially 2 more days to make the purchase where the proceeds go to the Black Lives Matter movement. Now, if you don't have the money now and don't feel like, or I hope you're on my channel because you would want to support Black Lives Matter movement, but if you are not so inclined, you don't have to buy the pattern now, but it would be absolutely wonderful if you did, because then the proceeds do go to that. And I will say I've been having a heck of a time getting my videos uploaded. I have a theory, and it starts with a con, it ends in a conspiracy, but I'm wondering if the platform that this video is presented on is slow to upload videos that contain content where Black Lives Matter is mentioned either in the description or throughout the content, like the actual recording. I don't know, but I will say ever since I started including this information in my videos, they have not been uploading nearly as fast as they used to before I started adding this, and I don't know if it's me, if it's the platform, or what, but I haven't done anything different except for include this information, and then all of a sudden it takes a couple days for my content to be uploaded when it's supposed to. So yeah, I'm hoping you guys do see this on Monday. Today is Saturday, so I'm hoping to upload this one tonight for Monday, just because I have a feeling it's gonna take that long until you guys would be able to see it, and I really don't want to, but yeah, I'm just gonna have to do it earlier. So anywho, carrying on. So if you guys are not new here, you may remember me mentioning not too long ago that I purchased finally some circular needles that are more to the size and type that I would like and prefer to work with for my cat mat. I had complained a million and one times about the texture of the bamboo needles and the extra sticky loopy yarn that I was using for my cat mat. And I finally got my hobby order. I bought some things on hobby, HOBBII.com. I've used them before for other things, and I just like them. I think they have a lot of really cool yarn, and I hope to continue to buy from them in the future, but I wanted some supplies. Well, take that back. First, because I'm on their mailing list, I saw that they were having a sale, and they do sales quite a bit, but this particular yarn was beautiful, and it was teal, of course, and I think it was sock weight, and I was like, great, I would like one ball of that, and then I'll go ahead and buy my other supplies. And then I waited, because this is coming from Europe, so I'm waiting and waiting, because I'm in the United States, and I'm waiting, and I finally get this email that says, hey, thank you for your purchase, however, that ball of yarn you want, we're out of stock. And I'm like, that's the first, that was the reason that I clicked on you guys to shop. Not that it's their fault. It's out of stock. But I was like, darn it, like that for me was my motivator to make my purchase. And so I got everything else, but now I have a free shipping credit for the next time I buy from them, which is nice because it's coming from so far away. Like, you have to buy quite a bit to get free shipping, which, you know, isn't a problem, but it's like, do I really have $75 worth of things that I need? No. Do I ever have $75 worth of yarn that I need? No. That's just the truth. But anywho, I got some things and I will show you, but really the main attraction is the needles I need for today's project. So I bought some stitch holders because I didn't have any. You don't need them. You could use scrap yarn, but I kind of just like having something nice and quick just to scoop up all of my stitches, especially when I'm doing socks. I usually have them left on a needle and I'm like, I'll have an extra DPN around and I'll just slip them through and hold on to them that way. Sometimes I use scrap yarn or like waste yarn, but now I have some, and some of these are kind of long. So I bought the Hobbies brand, and then I bought Knit Pro, which I think Knit Pro is like the European version of Knitter's Pride, because there's like some other stuff that I bought that looks exactly like Knitter's Pride, and I'll show you that in a second. But if I'm doing a sweater, one day when I actually knit a sweater in the round, seamless, which I love, then I can use the longer ones to scoop up the bigger parts, like around the waist and around the neck and stuff like that, and then the little ones I can just double up for the sleeves and stuff like that. So I'm excited for when I do need these next, which will probably be the next time I knit the other sock that I'm working on, which you'll see in another video coming up. I got the size 10 millimeter Knit Pro Nova, which is just like the Nova of Knitter's Pride, which is why I was like, this is yes, this is 10 millimeter and it's 150 centimeters in length. This is the one I need today. This is the 9 millimeter, which is the US size 13. What am I using today? US 13 is the same as the 9 millimeter. And then I got the 10s for the, no, I got the 12s for the blanket that I'm making. with the yarn that I got from Hooked. It came with some free crystal buttons from Hobby for buttons, so something I will use one day. They're free, they came with it. And I got some more of the Prim ergonomic DPNs. These are 2.5 millimeter, and I got 2.25 millimeter Zing, and these are also Knit Pro. So I'm like, Zing, these have to be Knitter's Pride European, because like, who else has something called Zing? Who else has something called Nova? So that is what I conclude. And these are, yeah, the 2.25. So I need these for my sock kit that I picked up from one of the local yarn shops that sent me the notice about all their cool stuff. So in my show and tell that I did a couple of videos back, where I showed you guys the birthday gifts that I got for my brother and his fiance, and at the end I showed you guys some of the recent purchases I had made, and some of the shipments that came in. The Hooked yarn that I got, which is like the beautiful creamy corals, and the sock kit that I got from the yarn shop, which is like this pretty burgundy with a stripy splotchy yarn, and like the solid burgundy as the accent. I'm gonna use these for that. And oh, I got a candy. Cool. I didn't know that was in the bag, so I'll have that right now. Don't mind if I do. Oh, and it's shaped like a heart. Can you guys see that? Maybe not. It's a heart-shaped candy. You shouldn't eat candy you get from strangers, but that's tasty. I like that. Okay, so moving on. Oh, well, I guess I lied. No, I will talk about that while we knit. So we have our horrible bamboos. I'm gonna keep these. I have a whole set, and they did come in handy because when I started this project, I just needed something to get going. And now that I have been able to make a purchase to replace these horrid bamboo needles, I can put them back in my tackle box with all of the other things that I don't use as often that are knitting like related. So go ahead and open these. I love this purple, by the way. This is such a pretty purple. Can you guys see it? Maybe not. No. I'm trying to think, like, what do I have that contrasts enough that you guys would be able to see the purple? But that's okay. So I have some updates. My and this blanket, by the way, if you're new here, or if you haven't seen that video and you aren't new here, for Koji's birthday I started working on this project. It's just a garter stitch. It's Lopi yarn. I'm going to felt it, so it's relatively long right now, but once it's done, I'm using brown, and I'm alternating with brown and a very deep purple, like an eggplant purple, and I'm just alternating garter stitch with those colors. So I have 4 balls, 2 of the brown, 2 of the eggplant color, and then once I'm done, I'm going to knit as far as I can, and then I'm going to just throw this in the wash, felt it up, and then it's going to be a cat mat or blanket, I'm not sure. And it's so funny because it already has cat fur in it based on the location where I started working on this. And I'm not knitting super tight. Like I have a tight gauge naturally, but I had been trying my best not to knit too tight because of the bamboo. But I'm not too worried about gauge because I'm just trying to get a nice big piece of fabric. as I was saying about updates, my brother and his fiance got their gifts. His fiance was texting me and said it took her about an hour to finish the clear puzzle that I sent them. And I was like, Garg. I was hoping it'd take her longer, but she did say it took about 30 minutes in the beginning to figure it out. And it turns out that the puzzle has the puzzle has 6 corners. It doesn't really, it's a square, but there are 2 extra pieces that have 2 corners on them, so they look like they're edge pieces, which is why it took her a little while to get started with it. So she really liked it. She loves the planners. She already started writing in them. She's like, great, this is just what I needed. I was looking for something like this. She loved the markers that came with it. She was very excited about the cool little they're very decorative, but they're functional soaps. She really likes the soaps. My brother's excited to use the spices I got him for cooking. And they're overall just really excited and happy about all their gifts. And they were like, yay, this is so thoughtful. Thank you so much. And it's like, awesome. Like, yay, it's a win for me. Because all I wanted was to make sure that they got cool stuff that they would like and find fun and cool, and even better if it's useful, which it was. And it's funny because when she got the gift and she was texting me, and I was like, I'm so sorry it came late because I was waiting for the puzzle to, well, I didn't tell her it was a puzzle, but I told her I was waiting for something that was on back order, and I wanted to send the whole thing together and not just in pieces. And I asked him, like, can you guess what it was that took so long? And so she was guessing. She guessed the lip smacker sets, and I was like, no. And then she's like, was it the cup? And I was like, no. And I think she guessed one more thing, and I was like, it was the puzzle. She's like, oh. But it's so funny because now that I know that it didn't take her that long, she said that now she's going to keep working on it, but she's going to time herself to see how fast it goes. And I told her, I was like, oh, you should do it while you've had a couple drinks to see like how well you can do it when you're trying to time yourself and you're a little tipsy. And she's like, oh, that'd be the better way to get your brother to play, because he likes alcohol, so he'll drink, but he doesn't really do puzzles that much. But he doesn't at the same time. And she's like, I'll get him to work on this one with me. And I was like, cool. But now I think I'm going to get her there's this really old puzzle, and it came out like in the 90s from Bits and Pieces, which is a puzzle and toy company. And I saw it at my old job. I had a job and we had some puzzles for people to work on while they were waiting and stuff. And it was so hard. And there aren't that many around, so I'm not gonna say what it is, because if I do and somebody's like, that's a great idea, I'm gonna buy one of the very few copies that are still like available for sale, and then I won't be able to buy it. So I'll tell you when I get it. But it's really hard to find, but it's super challenging, and I'm so excited because I probably should just buy it now because I keep talking about it, but I'm gonna wait until later this week to buy it, because I've pretty much already bought like all the crazy stuff that I wanted to buy for the month of June, and now I'm waiting for the next month to buy some other things I want, so that I don't, blow all my money before I can or should or anything, because I still have a few days left before I get paid. And if anything comes up between now and then, I don't want to be like, oh, I just bought this puzzle. Why? Sorry, can't pay that bill. Like, something like that. So I'm waiting till next month, but not very long till next month. And I'm gonna buy it so then I have it ready so that next year I can send it to her. And that's if it's still around. But I looked and there are just a couple left on eBay. Don't know if anyone else is checking for this puzzle like I am, but it just stuck in my memory, and ever since I saw it at my old job, I've been like determined to either have it or to get it to someone who I know really likes puzzles, because it's so challenging. I'm like, yes, this is like the torture puzzle of forever. Like, it's so mean, so awesome, so excited to have it so I can give it to her. So, but speaking of gifts and things, I just found out this afternoon before I came up here that my partner's friend finally opened the gift that I gave them of the baby blanket, and they're very appreciative. They like it a lot, and my partner had to reiterate that it was a handmade gift. Like, I knit that blanket myself. And I was like, yes, I did. And then he's like, yeah, I would invite you guys over, because last year we went to their home for a barbecue, and it was actually very close to this time of year. It was after July. It was like in July sometime. But obviously, because of the current situation, we cannot go hang out with them. And I'm surprised there are still people who are hanging out with other people. I was talking to one of my coworkers yesterday. I had a half day at work, but because of that new system, oh my gosh, I'll save that for another video. But because of the new system, I had to show her something. So we went on Zoom together, and I shared my screen, and we were just talking about some of the stuff with the new system, and then we just started talking about like going back to work, and we're like, man, it's gonna be so hard to make sure we're safe because of just the volumes of people that we generally interact with and everything. And I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be really crazy. I would rather not, if I didn't have to, but part of my job, I work as like a trainer and things, and so if we are going to be open, I have to make sure that the people who are serving our wider customer base are ready to go. So that means I would have to be in there, because there's a lot of stuff I can't do online, because there's like physical things they have to be touching and accessing and walking around with and everything. So it's like, man, oh well. But it looks like we might not until maybe early August at the earliest be required to be there. So I'll be waiting. I'll be ready. I just really don't want to. Like, it's not that going back is bad. It's just the environment is scary. Alright, so we're not too far, but I did want to just get you guys going here with this one to let you know I haven't forgotten about it. It's still on my radar, and I now have the supplies I need so that I can transfer the rest of this off of these wretched bamboo needles. And my candy's almost done. So, thanks for listening to me again. I hope you're far along in your project too, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!